What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be doing my live watch-along of Manchester City's huge Premier League game against Wolves from the Etihad Stadium. Must-win game for Manchester City. Arsenal won earlier. They're 4 points clear of City. We've got 2 games in hand. Here's the first of them here today against Wolves before we have another week off. And we go first next weekend against Fulham. So we know if we win today, we go a point behind Arsenal. And if we win again next weekend, then we will be top of the Premier League with Arsenal heading into a huge game against Manchester United away from home next Sunday. Permutations, quite simply, couldn't be bigger. And the path is very clear for Manchester City as well. It's getting to a point with the decisions that were being made in that Arsenal-Bournemouth game before. It's getting to a point here where there's just no margin for error. Man City know what they need to do, and that's go out there and win every single game between now and the end of the Premier League season. And that will see us make history and make it 4 Premier League trophies in a row. That once more right on the line here in this big game against Wolves. And I don't think it's going to be an easy game either. So before we do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a thumbs up. We are aiming for 100 likes. We're already into double figures. We're 90 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that, guys, would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well, if you want to go and check out my social media links, then you can find them in the description or on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here as well. Now less than 500 subs away from my aim of 35,000 subscribers. Also, don't forget to get your thoughts in the live chat, including your score prediction for today's game and where you're tuning in from. We've already got Dudley in the chat going for a nice positive 3 points for Manchester City, going for a 3-1 victory for Manchester City. Love that. My prediction today, I'm going for a solid clean sheet 2-0 victory for Manchester City. Bro, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Said, just wanted to say the thumbnail is on point. Thank you very much for the kind comment there. Much appreciated, and do appreciate the feedback as well. So I'm glad you are enjoying the thumbnail and you do like them. Away, thanks for tuning in. Going for a 4-1 victory today for Manchester City. I'll take any win if I'm being honest. Daniel, thanks for tuning in. Says, please win every single game, Manchester City, because I don't want Arsenal winning the league. We're getting right down now to the business end, aren't we? 4 games remaining. We know what we need to do. We want to go out there and make that happen. Daniel also says, got a good feeling that another twice will happen next weekend. We'll have to wait and see with what happens next weekend. We need to focus on this weekend first, take things a game at a time. If City can pick up the win here, that would be brilliant. And then we can head into next weekend knowing that we play first. And Arsenal's got a huge away game away at Old Trafford, which won't be easy. But heading to Fulham and Craven Cottage, it's a proper banana skin for City as well, as is this game as well. So we need to be careful. We know what we need to do. We know we've got Wolves at home, our penultimate home game of the season, Fulham away next weekend in our penultimate away game of the season, then a midweek game against Tottenham Hotspur away from home, our final away game of the season, and then a home match against West Ham United to conclude the Premier League season. All in their own right, quite difficult games. So we need to turn up and make sure that we do a good, solid job. VK, thanks for tuning in, going for a 3-0 victory today for City, as is Daniel as well. And Daniel does say that Arsenal don't have a great record when it comes to away matches at Old Trafford. United aren't going to want to hand City the Premier League. Manchester United aren't going to want to lose that game at home either. It's very much like the Spurs situation. Spurs, in an ideal world, will want to cost Arsenal the Premier League title because, well, it's funny. And Man United will be thinking the same. They're not going to want to give City any advantage. So losing that game, they'll say, actually, that's quite funny. But on the other side of things, the high-pressure games, because Tottenham haven't achieved what they've wanted to achieve this season, so it's an unsuccessful season, and from the position that they found themselves in towards November, December time, I think Tottenham will be very disappointed, so they'll want to go out there and get a really positive result against us, if anything, just for a bit of confidence. And the same will be said for United. United fans won't put up with Manchester United turning up next weekend and rolling over for Arsenal, because it's not a good look. They're Manchester United. So we'll see. Fine margins, got it in our own hands. We know what we need to do. We need to go out there, play a good game of football, put our opportunities away, and win the game. Mordecai, thanks for tuning in, says Wolves have usually been a bit of a problem for us, reckons narrow game, 3-2. I'll speak more about them problems that Wolves will cause us in just one moment. And Daniel says Spurs will have nothing to play for when they play City, which, fingers crossed, they won't have anything to play for. I've not got too much wrong with a team having something to play for, because it depends which way you want to look at it, really, because if they've got nothing to play for, they're under no pressure, which means a bit of a free hit, which means if we score first, it should be pretty straightforward for City. But on the other side of things, if City, don't end up go first half without scoring, we get anxious, we start getting frustrated, and they're under no pressure whatsoever, it frees them up. And good teams like Spurs and United, who've got nothing to play for, can capitalise and hurt teams. And I'm using that term good with Manchester United very loosely, just looking at the record in the Premier League and where they sit. As a whole, in all 20 teams, they sit there and you'd look at the table, you knew nothing about football, you'd say that, they're doing all right, they're quite good, but they're not as good as the very best, your Arsenals and your Manchester Cities. And we need to showcase our quality. That quality needs to showcase in this game as well. So, I do want to move on and speak about today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. They're going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest scores out there, including, not just for this game, who are going to help me to provide all of my pre-match, half-time and full-time analysis for you guys, but also keeping you up to date with all the latest football scores out there and all the other sports that you guys all love to follow, with all their latest scores, all in one place, all in one app. It's a very highly rated app, and it's highly rated because it's absolutely brilliant. It's free to download. The link's in the description. It's also in the live chat too. If you want to go and download the free SofaScore app, then that would be much appreciated. I do have my promo video, which I am going to roll for you guys in just 1 second once I do get it locked and loaded. So, there we go. Thank you very much there to SofaScore for sponsoring today's video. As I said, do go and check them out. Links and details, they are in the description, and they are going to help me to provide all the build-up to today's game. So, getting the SofaScore app locked and loaded right here. We're going to select the Manchester City game. And I should be able to vote on who I think is going to win. So firstly, I'm going to go for a Man City win, which 73% of users do agree with. Over 50,000 votes on this as well, which is fantastic to see. So we're going to speak about our opponents first. Wolverhampton Wanderers lining up in a 3-5-1-1 formation, which is what I spoke about in my preview. So no surprise there. Just having a look at how they're going to line up here. So SofaScore, they've got it, in my opinion, a little bit muddled up here. So Jose Sar's starting in goal. They've got Rayan Ait-Nouri starting as the right side of centre-back. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you might see Joao Gomes going on that side, with Max Kilman going up through the centre, and possibly Ait-Nouri going on the left-hand side, or maybe at left wing-back with Bruyne dropping in to centre-back, with Nelson Semedo going in at right wing-back. You may see Nelson Semedo go in at the right side of defence. We'll have to wait and see. That could invert, of course, with them acting more as central midfielders or stretching the pitch and going out wide. It could also mean them sitting a little bit deeper, and this formation looking more on a 5-3-1-1 formation rather than a 3-5-1-1 formation. We'll have to wait and see. They've also got Joao Gomes, Mario Lemina and Boubacar Traore starting as their three central midfielders. Lots of crunch, lots of bite in there for Wolverhampton Wanderers, with Matheus Nunes starting behind the striker Hwang Hee Chan. That Korean guy, to quote Pep Guardiola. Now, Wolves led by manager Gary O'Neill, and I think Wolves have done a cracking job this season. I predicted them to be relegated. They were in a mess. The manager left less than a week before the season started. They were selling players. They weren't bringing players in, and when they were bringing players in, there were risky signings that they were bringing in. And the fact that they're sitting very comfortable in the Premier League and doing a really good job as well shows tremendous effort and showcases a lot about what Wolverhampton Wanderers stand for. They are going to fight for every loose ball. They are going to be in the face of Manchester City. They're not going to give us an inch. They're not going to give us any space. We've only lost 3 games in the Premier League this season. One of them came at Molineux against Wolves. Not a coincidence. They're a very good side. And if City are to win this game today, they need to turn up, be at their creative, clinical best. Anything short of that, and it's just not going to work as far as I'm concerned. So Manchester City, it has to be a 10 out of 10 performance. On the bench, you've got Daniel Bentley, Wesley Okoduwu, Santiago Bueno, Matt Doherty, who I thought would have started this game. He doesn't, so a little bit of a technical change there for Gary O'Neill. You've got Nathan Fraser, Jean Rickner Bellegarde, Tawanda Chirewa, Pablo Sariba, and Enzo Gonzalez. More importantly there, no Pedro Neto. There was talk about him training and potentially being back for this game. Not a bit of it. He's not back. So not featuring, and that is a blow for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Manchester City then lining up in our what's going to be a 3 at the back. It's a 3-2-2-2-1, a 3-2-4-1, whatever way you want to look at it. Anyway, we're lining up Ederson in goal, and that's a big call, by the way, because he's only just come back from injury, and there was talk that Manchester City weren't going to risk him yet. Here we are, straight in at the deep end. Ederson back from injury and back starting in goal. Lining up with Kyle Walker as our captain. I suspect it's going to be Nathan Ake going through the centre and Josko Gvardiol on the left-hand side, and Akanji's going to push further forward, and he's going to start alongside Rodri in central midfield. So there's that 3-2 bit of the formation that we're speaking about. Now, the other 2 further ahead of them, we've decided to go with Mateo Kovacic and Kevin De Bruyne. The big call comes out wide, so Bernardo Silva goes on the right wing, Phil Foden goes on the left wing. That, I think, is a really big call because it means Jack Grealish misses out, as does Jeremy Doku, and we start with Erling Haaland up top, not Julian Alvarez. Now, City led by manager Pep Guardiola. On the bench, we've got Stefan Ortega-Moreno, John Stones, Ruben Dias, Sergio Gomes, Matheus Nunes, Rico Lewis, Jack Grealish, Jeremy Doku, and Julian Alvarez. That is a huge bench for Manchester City, and when we're playing only one game every single week and you've got a full strength team to go at, players are going to be disappointed not making the matchday squad. Like Oscar Bobb, players on the bench rather than starting who normally maybe would start these games. Your John Stones, your Jeremy Dokus, your Jack Grealishes. The big calls. Pep Guardiola gets paid a lot of money to make these big calls and to make them the correct decisions as well. So hopefully that will be the case, and Manchester City will come out of today's game with a win, because that's what we need to be looking for. Dad, thanks very much for tuning in. Going for a 3-0 win for Manchester City. Amelia, thanks for tuning in. Going for a 5-0 victory for City. And Colonel, thank you very much for tuning in. Says, speech slightly out. I'll just refresh everything, so hopefully that might get everything sorted from that end. At the moment, I use my system, OBS system. Everything's coming out as green and everything's looking pretty good. I have changed the latency on this for today's stream, so maybe that's having a little bit of an impact. If it is, I don't think there's too much I can do about it because it's currently not letting me change the stream latency at this moment in time. I can only change it at the beginning of the stream, and I can always end the stream and restart the stream if it's very wayward and you guys aren't enjoying it. Let me know, and that's something I'll look into, but it will momentarily mean me going off for 2 or 3 minutes just to systemly restart everything. I have refreshed everything on here, so do let me know if it's working or looking any better. We'll have to wait and see. I do close everything down as well, so it's not overpowering the system. As I said, do let me know, guys. There's loads of things that interfere on these things. It's all good fun, when being live. Anyway, we've got our countdown to kickoff. We're now 8 minutes away from kickoff. So if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a thumbs up. Now nearly on to 20 likes, which is great. 83 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat, including where you're tuning in from today and your score predictions. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you are new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description and also in the live chat. You can use the QR code on screen as well. It'll take you to where you want to be. So yeah, there we go. I'm just going to take a quick drink and yeah, we'll speak about the team and where this game may be won and lost. Ah, nice, good stuff. So, yeah, where's this game going to be won and lost? I think City have made a big call. I'm not too surprised to see Jack Grealish not starting this game. Grealish is fantastic at City gaining control now. I suspect that City are expecting Wolves to park a bus and sit really deep, so they're not looking for that defensive cover. They'll be looking for more creativity, and the fact that they've gone with Kovacic rather than Doku is telling me that City are looking for midfield creativity through the centre rather than looking out wide. And maybe once City are knocking the ball around and you start to get some tired Wolverhampton Wanderers legs, that City may want to start chucking on your quicker players, your more offensive players, the players that are going to really be nice and direct for City, your Jeremy Doku's, your Julian Alvarez, once the players for Wolves start to tire a little bit more. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think City, I mean, this is going to run one of two ways. This is either going to be a very frustrating game with not much creativity and City are going to have to be clinical in front of goal, or Man City are going to fly at Wolves, look for that early goal like we did against Brighton, look to try and find a killer 2-goal cushion as quickly as possible. And in an ideal world, you want to try and get 3 as quickly as possible to take all tension away, and you can start thinking about your next game. Once you get to 3-0, the game's done and dusted. 2-0 can be a bit of a dangerous scoreline, and 1-0 is better than 0-0, but not an ideal scoreline for what we're looking for at this part of the season. But we're looking for wins, so beggars, they can't be choosers. It's like I was having a bit of a debate with one of the City fans in my comments from, I think it was my match review after the Nottingham Forest win last weekend, and I was speaking and I was saying that beggars can't be choosers, saying that City didn't play particularly well, and I made a comment on my review video where I said I don't really care about how Man City play at this part of the season, I only care about results. So I really want to get my teeth into the point that I'm trying to make with that, which is Man City are never going to go out there and, you know, Wolves aren't going to come to the Etihad and completely play Manchester City off the pitch. It will take a very special team to be able to do that. They're not going to attempt it because it's just, they've not got the quality to be able to do that. So Wolves have got to work with what they can work with, which is to try and contain Manchester City, to try and keep Manchester City at bay, to keep themselves in the game as long as possible. When you're Wolves and you've got nothing to play for, mentally from a City point of view, I'm hoping that they're on the beach and they're just going to turn over and roll over. The more likely scenario is that they're going to want to turn up and try and frustrate and hurt Manchester City so they can have their say on the Premier League title race, have their say on what happens with Manchester City. And it's up to Manchester City ultimately at the end of the day to do something about it. And what we don't want to do is concede first and give Wolves something to defend. And sometimes in the Premier League, and this is going back to what I was saying with beggars can't be choosers, I don't want Man City to turn up and play a really neat 70+% possession game, creating an abundance of opportunities, and the game's a really good flow to it, and City have done really well, and then Wolves managed to turn up, frustrate us, and come out with a 0-0, which is a disaster. I'd rather we didn't play particularly well. You know, we're looking at 55-60% possession and not that many shots, but Man City have managed to find that one killer goal to win the game, because at the end of the day, all that matters right now is Man City winning 3 points. And if we can find a happy medium, a good performance and a win, that's the benchmark. That's what we're looking for. And it won't be easy for Man City to be able to do that, in particular with so much at stake, because we are the team that's under pressure. But we have it in our locker. We're capable of going out there and doing what we need to do. And ultimately, players look focused. Players are nice and fresh. The only thing we've got against us is we're under a tremendous amount of pressure. Arsenal are 4 points clear with a plus 10 goal difference on us as it stands right now. We've got 2 games in hand. We know if we win both them games in hand, then Manchester City, this is one of the games in hand, by the way. This match against Wolves as Arsenal played earlier today for Premier League match day number 36. We know that all of a sudden, pressure's back onto Arsenal. They've got a week to think about Man City being a point behind them and Manchester City playing first next weekend. And it's nice that this 3-horse race for the Premier League, Liverpool aren't 100% out of it as of yet, but it's going to take a lot from the position now for both Man City and Arsenal to drop the points needed to allow Liverpool to try and win the Premier League. I just don't see it happening. I just don't think there's enough. There's running out of time. You know, Arsenal turn up next weekend at Old Trafford and win, and that's Liverpool out the title race. That's the margins that they're looking at right now. So to me, 2-horse race, not a 3-horse race. And obviously a big 8 days or so of Premier League football to come before we head into, hopefully, Man City win both our games here against Wolves and against Fulham. Then we head into what is the biggest game in hand I think I've ever seen. Maybe ever, because this Premier League title race has been relentless. The only thing that I can compare it to is that match against Manchester United, that game in hand that we had against them all the way back in 2012. That was a huge, huge game playing against each other, a proper 6-pointer. So it's massive. It's been a very exciting title race where we're at the giving end of the season now. And if we want to receive all the great rewards, then we need to earn it and we need to go out there, play a good performance and win the games. And psychologically, I mean, how do you approach this as a player? What are you thinking about? Because we're not at the cup final, we're not at the last game of the season and everything's on the line. This is a much finer, more delicate part of the season. And to me, this is where a lot of teams, you start to see what's known as the bottle, where teams, when you're going into games with games that you should be winning, are just crumbling under the amount of pressure that you're under. And I think Arsenal psychologically are trying to show this season that they are far psychologically stronger than what they were last season, because it was around this stage last season that Arsenal started to show that bottle, and Man City have showcased time and time again that they have what it takes to go on and win the Premier League from the position that we're in. So I have every confidence that Man City can go out there and do it again, but you have to be professional, you have to be aware, you have to be alert to everything around, and you've just got to turn up and showcase ultimately why you are a champion. So, Manchester City's starting 11. If you've only just tuned in, we're starting today. Ederson returning in goal. He starts ahead of Ortega, which is a surprise. We're also lining up today with a back three made up of Kyle Walker, Nathan Ake and Josko Gvardiol. It's Akanji partnering Rodri in defensive midfield. You've got Kovacic starting alongside Kevin De Bruyne with Bernardo out wide on the right-hand side, Phil Foden on the left-hand side, and 6'4" Erling Haaland starts for Manchester City. And once again, we're getting City gathered around in their circle. We're going to get a nice, passionate speech from Kyle Walker. Let's see what Kyle Walker says this time. Oh, it's Kevin De Bruyne giving the speech this time, not the captain. He doesn't look very animated there, King Kevin. I'm hoping this isn't going to be the last time, or last season that we see Kevin De Bruyne at Man City, getting linked with a big money move to Saudi Arabia, hoping that we'll see many more years of Kevin De Bruyne yet. I know he's not getting any younger, but he's like fine wine, isn't he, really? You want to keep him at the club until he retires. What we've got to be looking for. Anyway, Blue Moon renders around the stadium, which means we are ready for kickoff here. And it's going to be Wolves getting us underway, playing in red. Ooh, attacking from right to left. City attacking from left to right, playing in their home strip sky blue shirts, white shorts, and sky blue socks. Wolves playing in all red. And we do have kickoff here at the Etihad Stadium. Don't forget, do leave a thumbs up. That would be great. We're now on to 27 likes, 73 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Don't forget as well to subscribe. That would be brilliant. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. Early chance here for City. De Bruyne, it's ping-ponging around. He couldn't find his pass to Erling Haaland. And 27 seconds in for a team that I'm expecting to very much park the bus. That could have been a big early opening for City. Felix, thanks for tuning in, going for 3-0. Manchester City, Raheem going for a 3-0 Manchester City win, going for Haaland to score and Bernardo. I did say in my preview, anyone fancy an Erling Haaland hat-trick? He looked sharp, he looked good when he came off the bench against Forest, as Wolves could be in now. Ederson comes flying out of his goal, gets his head onto it and heads it out for a throw-in. Akot, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Seamus as well, thanks for tuning in. Says, hi Jay, don't think this will be a clean sheet for City. A must-win game, going 4-1 to City instead. City just been a bit slack with the ball. Twice given away in their own half to Wolves. And we're only 90 seconds in. They want to be cutting that out of their game. They really do. Now, just reading then that Bury, of course, kicked out the Football League a few years back. Took them ages to find their feet again. Managed to get things sorted last summer for their return back to Gig Lane and the merger with AFC Bury and Bury, playing in Tier 9 after AFC Bury secured promotion out of Tier 10, the bottom of the English pyramid last season, looking for back-to-back promotions. Unfortunately, didn't seal automatic promotions as champions, so they went into the playoffs instead. Sitting around Greater Manchester, you've got Wythenshawe and Wythenshawe Town, more specifically, taking on Bury today. That match in the playoff final went to penalties, and Bury have lost that game, so they're going to be staying in Tier 9 for next season. So a bit of regrouping for Bury to do there, a bit of a blow for them. But congratulations there to Wythenshawe Town. Also, to speak of towns, Ipswich Town, I want to say a big congratulations to them as well. Sealing promotion to the Premier League today with a solid win against Huddersfield at Portman Road. So Man City will be returning back to the King Power Stadium, with Leicester sealing promotion immediately back to the Premier League, and Ipswich Town for the first time in 22 years returning to the Premier League as well. And a fantastic result for them in sealing promotion to the Premier League. So it does mean that Leeds, Southampton and West Bromwich Albion and Norwich City are going to be competing in the playoffs, and one of them four teams will be joining Leicester and Ipswich Town in the Premier League next season. Business end of the season, so much at stake. It's not just at the top of the Premier League, you know, it's everywhere throughout football. Heartbreak season out there. Hopefully it won't be heartbreak for City. Hopefully the only heartbreak we'll taste this season will be that Champions League penalty shootout loss against Real Madrid, which in theory we didn't actually lose the game. We drew both games. The Bernabeu at the Etihad, even after extra time, drew that as well. Here's Haaland in a good position. De Bruyne can't turn his man, and Wolves can scramble that clear. Not seen any shots coming in as of yet, but Man City looking to create with purpose. As Wolves looking threatening on the counter-attack. Burst forward here. Worked to the left-hand side. Here's Hwang. Wolves just knocking it round. Here's Lamina now in central midfield, working it round at the back, and Wolves just knocking it round pretty nicely here, having a bit of possession. Here's Jose Sarr then for Wolves in goal. Ball gets sent forward, not the best. Picked off by Akanji. Speaking of not the best of passes from Akanji into the channel looking for Erling Haaland either, and cut off with relative ease by Wolves. Here's Jose Sarr then, looking just to try and roll it out. Wolves looking to try and work the way out of bother. Ball into the channel. There is space on them right and left hand sides, where City leave a bit of space, in particular if Kyle Walker chooses to get forward on the right, or Josko Gvardiol, what you see more of, getting forward on the left. It leaves a bit of space. It leaves Nathan Ake a little bit exposed at the mo, as Bernardo Silva gets back, tracks back really well there, and manages to get City a throw-in off Cunha. Jamie Carragher on commentary there makes a good point that a good first touch there from De Bruyne in that position, and that's 1-0 Manchester City, but he doesn't. As Gary O'Neill in the stands today for Wolves, serving a one-match touchline ban. So he can't go in the dugout, but he can be in the stadium, and he can have communication with the bench, so all instructions will be coming in. I find these touchline bans a bit pointless, guys, if I'm being honest. Manager's still there. They're still having the communications. They're still speaking with the players before and after the game. They're just not in the dugout. They're just in a different position in the stadium. But I don't know if some of you guys maybe remember Sam Allardyce in particular, when he was managing at Bolton Wanderers, used to spend a lot of his time further up in the stadium rather than on the bench. I presume from an analysis point of view, so he can have a better view to watch the game. So I don't think it makes much of an impact with managers having touchline bans, but that's just me. Anyway, guys, we're on to 30 likes now, 70 to go. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well. That would be brilliant. 7 minutes in here at the Etihad. It's Man City 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 in a must-win game for City. 3 to play after this. Here's Rodri. Gives the ball to Gvardiol. Foden now to Rodri. Works the ball very nicely over to the right-hand side. Here's Bernardo then. Gets a ball in, looking for Erling Haaland. Headed clear only as far as Gvardiol. Rodri rocket over the top of the crossbar. Not a bad effort that from Rodrigo. Not too far off, but flies over the top of the crossbar. And I think that's our first shot of the game, actually. For both sides, and Rodri just gets over the top of it, gets probably too clean of a connection there, and it's always spinning, always rising, and always going over the top of the crossbar and into the stands. So 8 minutes, still 0-0 here. Jose Sarr with the goal kick, going to launch this long for Wolves. Always drifting. Takes the bounce and out of play for a throw into City. Here is Kovacic then, gives the ball to Nathan Ake. Back to Kovacic. Rodri gives the ball to Nathan Ake. City just knocking it round here in the Wolves half. Here's Kovacic. Launches the ball long towards Bernardo Silva. A good switch of play to Kyle Walker. Back to Bernardo. So this is, I know City are on the attack, but this is defensively where City need to make sure there's extra cover, that if Wolves manage to pick the pocket. This time, Gvardiol's gone forward and Kyle Walker has gone forward. And this is where Wolves, if they pick the ball up, are launching the ball long. That's a great ball from Foden into Bernardo and gets played across. And Gvardiol goes down and City are crying for a penalty. And the referee under pressure gives the penalty. It looked initially like the referee wasn't going to give it. Gvardiol has the shot. It's a late challenge. He doesn't win the ball. And the referee points to the spot. There's a bit of a delayed reaction there from the referee. I didn't initially think he was going to give it. Let's have another look at this. He doesn't win the ball and takes the knee of Josko Gvardiol. Yeah, it's a penalty every day of the week. I'm not too sure why the referee hesitated. I'm sure the Wolves fans won't be too happy about City surrounding the referee, asking for the penalty before the referee then chooses to give the penalty, thinking that City have maybe influenced the mind of the referee. And that's, to me, not how I want penalties to be awarded. I'd like to think that the officials are competent enough to give a penalty in said situation without the need of appeal. You never know with Premier League referees, they are really bad. As demonstrated before in the Arsenal game. It's a penalty every day of the week, that. And it should be Haaland taking this. Yeah, VAR's not having a look at it. They've said it is a penalty. And it'd been interesting if the referee didn't give the penalty, whether VAR would have asked the referee to go and have a look at it, because I have a feeling they wouldn't. So it is Big Erling. 11 minutes in. You might not think it's that big of a moment, but it is. It is. Early on, takes the anxiety away from the stadium. It helps settle City down. If you can find that all-important opening goal. So this is a big opportunity for the opening goal. It's Erling Haaland up against Jose Sarr. Haaland looking very composed here. Takes 4 steps back. He's ready to put this in the net. Haaland! Oh, you know the end result. You know the end result. It's Manchester City 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, and it's Erling Haaland from the spot. And it's a big goal for City, that. Really big goal. Just gave the keeper the eyes and sent him, rolled it the other way. Rolled it the other way every day of the week. Easy peasy from Erling Haaland there. Nice and simple, nice and straightforward. Just what the doctor ordered. Julia, thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well. It's nice to be streaming again. It's nice to be able to interact with you guys as well. Seamus, Andy, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Alison as well. Andy says just got in from Kirkby Moorside. Must be the lucky charm, just tuning in and automatically there's the goal. Earthball, the penalty had been given and it is 1-0. Manchester City tucked away by Erling Haaland. We know what happens from there. So, City need to keep pushing, keep building, keep going. I don't want to think about goal difference. I want to think about Man City getting a killer 2-goal cushion here and taking the game away from Wolves. Here is Akanji. Drops into Haaland. Rodri finds Akanji here. City building. Probing. Patiently waiting. Wolves now have to come out and attack. That's what that opening goal does mean. They can't sit here for 90 minutes and... well, they can. Sit here and say, we'll take a 1-0 loss at the Etihad. It's a bit ultra negative. I parked the bus on a 1-0 loss. Has it happened? It must have happened. I'm just going to try and stay in the game as long as possible. As that's a good ball. Kovacic gets ahead of his man and he wants a corner kick. Goal kick given instead. Just ran out of room there, Kovacic. A good pass and a good ball. He gets there, Kova. He takes the extra touch, and I'm not too sure why he doesn't just try and play the ball off his man or try and cut something across there. Kilman covered his ground really well there in the end for Wolves and a goal kick instead. Here's Semedo. Was once linked with a move to City, weren't he? Oh, that's a poor giveaway. Really poor giveaway from Wolves. And Ait-Nouri, maybe Sofa scorer spot on. He's on the right-hand side for Wolves at the Mo. I don't understand why they've done that and not played Matt Doherty, but here we are. Here's Akanji. Lovely feet from Akanji. You know, Akanji's really improved this season, I think. He had a good season last season as well, as De Bruyne goes with a low ball and then a ricocheted shot comes in. Not a clean connection from Kevin De Bruyne and out of play for a goal kick to Wolves. Earthball going for a 3-1 victory today for City. I'll take that. Seamus says, we can still catch Arsenal on goal difference. There's only 2 games for Arsenal to play, so at the moment we're 9 goal difference away. Plus we have a game in hand. We can still catch their goal difference, you are right. But for goal difference to be important, City are going to have to draw a game, which means we'd be left with 2 games to, at the moment, catch up 9 goals. And with Arsenal, for that goal difference to matter, have to win them games. If they win by 1, we've got to pull around 10 goal difference in 2 games for goal difference to be important, which, I mean, Fulham away and West Ham at home. You're under pressure if you're asking the team to go out there and you need to better Arsenal's result by 4 or 5 goals to overturn a goal difference swing. I prefer City just to win their games, and goal difference is not important, as here is Rodri now for City. Gives the ball to Bernardo. Bernardo goes early. Ball. Haaland! Oh, it's a great save from Jose Sarr. Haaland, big Erling, wins the header. Heads it back across the keeper, and he gets a good solid hand onto it. You were just waiting for Haaland to put the ball in the back of the net there. You really was. Desperately unlucky from Erling Haaland. Here's Bernardo to Rodri. Kovacic. Chips one in looking for Bernardo. Doesn't work. I mean, going back to that goal difference, it'd be handy if City could go out and score 2 or 3 before half-time. We could then start thinking about trying to make a statement win, and you go on to win by 5 or 6. Obviously helps on that goal difference, but it's 9 goal difference in 3 games to pull back's a lot. Is a lot. Earthball, I'm on your wavelength, mate. I'm on your wavelength. At this point in the season, 3 points is 3 points. 1-0, 10-0, not fussed. I want 3 points. As a ball comes in from De Bruyne, dealt with well by Wolves. City cranking it up now. Here is Kyle Walker to Rodri. City looking for that killer 2-goal cushion on 20 minutes here. If we could get it, that would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Here's Bernardo now. Back to Walker. Works it back to Akanji. Here's Kovacic now. They're going to work it to the left-hand side. Ake finds Gvardiol. Excuse me. Here's Bernardo then. Finds Walker. Rodri to Kovacic. Oh, what a pass from Kovacic. Bernardo nearly turns his man. That pass from Kovacic was brilliant. It's knife through butter passing. Absolutely fantastic from Mateo Kovacic. And you know what? I was saying now, you'd expect Haaland to score from there, but Haaland doesn't do anything wrong. It's just a brilliant save from Jose Sarr. Haaland wins the header. Keeper's pretty static. There's not a lot of pace on the cross. There's nothing wrong with the cross from Bernardo Silva. It was pinpoint accurate. So he's got no pace to work with, so he's got to head it down, which is what he does. Keeper just gets down and gets down well. I mean, Haaland had probably been looking more for the corner, but it's not a bad header at all, I don't think. It's a good header and it's a better save. And here we are, City. We score when we want. I just don't want anything to be left to chance, anything late. Don't need that. We had enough drama for City to last a lifetime. We don't need any more. Rodri goes down. City want a free kick, and free kick given there for City. Wolves complain. They're not happy about that. Free kick on the edge of the box. Crossing position, not a shooting position, this for City. It was Rodri, the man that was brought down. A good crossing position then. So City taking their opportunity to get your Nathan Ake's and your Josko Gvardiols. Rodri, Akanji. He scored from set pieces before, Akanji, this season. Haaland, of course, there as well. City got a couple of players lined up on the edge of the box in case any rebounds coming or they've been working on anything in the training ground. So De Bruyne and Foden stood over this. And we put something of quality into the box. It's going to be Foden looking for the back post. City want a corner, claiming the keeper's got a touch onto it. I'm not too sure if Phil Foden was looking for the shot there. I'm not too sure what Foden were looking for. Judging off the height, it looked like that was more of a shot rather than a cross. If it was a cross, he's put way too much on that. We'll let him off, though, because he's been brilliant this season. Earthball. On paper, that Spurs game could be the most difficult. It all depends if Spurs have got something to play for or not. I can't imagine Spurs will be too enthusiastic about the game if they've got nothing to play for and they're the team that potentially hands Arsenal the Premier League title. I think all games we've got between now and the end of the season offer their own different challenges, but I agree, on paper, you look at that Spurs game and you're thinking that's the game where City could drop points, but, you know, West Ham could have something to play for. Last game of the season. Won't be an easy game, under no pressure potentially as well. We've got Fulham away. Fulham are a decent team. Again, could be a real banana skin that for City to deal with. This game as well against Wolves. We give Wolves an inch, they'll run a mile with it. So we've got to be on it. At the moment, City been pretty slick, put their opportunity away when they've needed to. Here's Kovacic now. Doesn't protect the ball and Wolves win the ball back and they can find a bit of space here in the City half. Bernardo Silva having to get back. Try and help Akanji. Doesn't take his man. Kovacic doesn't find the tackle, but Rodri thankfully just gets his toe onto that. And also draws in a foul as well. Rodri goes down in a little bit of pain. Hopefully he'll be okay because that was a well-timed interception from Rodrigo. He looks okay. He's back on his feet. He's good to go. So free kick for City, which City choose just to take short. Phil Foden works it down the left-hand side looking for Haaland. Just nudged off the ball there. Haaland wanted a free kick. You don't really get the protection, Haaland. He's 6'4", he's powerful, so it'll take a lot to brush him, brush past him. So I think he gets harshly treated when it comes to free kicks being given against him because he's so big. Doesn't necessarily mean... I mean, you don't have to go down for something technically to be a foul. On the flip side, you think you're with such a large frame like Haaland, you're looking at him and you're thinking it's going to take a lot to put him on the ground. So if he does go on the ground, you're asking yourself either it was a really nasty challenge for him to be on the ground or he's gone down dramatically or very weak. And so you're inclined not to give the free kick. I do think Haaland could have showed a little bit more strength there because I didn't think it was a free kick. Here's Wolves then. Enjoying a little bit of possession here again inside the City half. Knocking the ball around from left to right. Here's Lamina. Just worked out to the left-hand side where Cunha was. Wolves just... It's probably the best spell of possession that they've had in the game, and the initial press of Kovacic beaten off there. And there's 2 over on the left-hand side for Wolves. If they want to use it, they do. Cross does come in, and Wolves are going to get another bite at the cherry here, and it's not the best of balls in. And in the end, Ederson can collect that one, and Manchester City survive without any attempt on our goal. It was good initial defending from Ake, and they look to try and hook another ball across. It's not going to be a problem for a goalkeeper as good as Ederson there. And stays on his line, reads it well, collects the ball, and danger averted. It's not all sweeper keeper. Sometimes you've got to do the nitty gritty, the ugly side of things. Been a good start here. First 25 minutes, City lead by a 1-0. JSGC football. So mix it on the account. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Greetings from Polton Lefile. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. And he says, goals and drama, it is in our DNA, isn't it? There's going to be more drama before the season's out. You know it, I know it. Phil Foden, what a run. Just one touch too many. That'd have been a brilliant goal from Foden if he managed to get a shot on there. Seamus, the Spurs game is next Tuesday. So there's more Champions League action. So had City gone through, it would have been our second leg, our return leg of the semi-final. So not this week, coming up week after is when we have it. Earthball, I do hope you're alright. Andy says, much prefer Wolves playing like this. It's better than Arsenal and co. Parking the bus opens up the game. It could potentially suit us. It's why teams don't like playing open against us, because they know that City can carve through us. But I mean, we've not exactly been peppering the Wolves goal with shots and efforts and attempts, and Wolves are hanging on. It's not been like that. It's been a very careful game of football first 27 minutes. Man City haven't created all that much. Wolves have kept it tight and compact when they've needed to. They've passed the ball well. They've had possession. Wolves, the only thing they've not done now is managed to muster up opportunities. But, you know, whilst it's 1-0, they're still very much in the game. They're a good side. They play some good football. They've not been in the best of form as of late, but they're certainly not a bad side. And had Pedro Neto been fit today, I think this would have been a different ball game, because I think he's a high-quality player. He's one of, if not Wolves' best player that they've got. But going back to what I was saying before the stream about the job that Wolves and Gary O'Neill have done with them this season, I had them going down. They were a mess at the start of the season, selling players left, right and centre. Manager left less than a week before the start of the season. They just look nailed on for a team that's going down, and they've held up and done so well. So I have a lot of respect for Wolves this season. And they're not making life easy here for City as well. There's a job definitely still to be done here. Wolves have just put a cross into the box, which Hwang nearly got his head onto. Ederson did well to intercept that one. As we're now just 12 likes away from 50 likes. Guys, any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. It's a free app to download. Wolves in the penalty area again. Ball gets drifted across. It's a good interception from Josko Gvardiol. Another cross comes in, and Gvardiol gets his head onto this one now and heads it clear for Manchester City. So more defending for City to do. Going back to what I was just saying about Wolves, growing into this game, knocking the ball around very nicely. All they're waiting for now is that moment, that opportunity, that attempt on goal. So Man City need to persevere here. Here's Rayan Ait-Nouri now. Works the ball back. And it looks like Wolves are just going to try and switch that right to left. But going back down that right-hand channel, City just look like they're penned in. And Wolves doing really well to find that space. And given away by Wolves in the end. City patient and persevered well. And Wolves do really well. They're doing to Manchester City what Manchester City do to other sides. Knocking the ball around nicely. Possession-based football. Lose the ball. Press and try and win that ball back as quickly as possible. Straight from the school of Pep. Does bring up the half an hour mark. Manchester City lead here via Erling Haaland penalty by a 1-0. Long ball sent forward by Wolves. To no one in particular. Ederson will intercept and City will just move the ball back upfield. And it's City's turn now to push Wolves back and try and pen them in. Here is Nathan Ake now to Kovacic. Foden back to Kovacic. Here's Nathan Ake to Akanji. Here's Kyle Walker to Erling Haaland. Rodri works it to the right, looking for Bernardo. Sliding challenge from Wolves comes in. City want a free kick and get a free kick for a challenge from Cunha on Kyle Walker. Cunha shakes his head, not happy with that. Wolves had space to work with then as well. Ball just ricochets up and here's Cunha now coming forward for Wolves and a challenge comes in from Akanji. It's been brilliant for City. He really came into his own in the business end of last season. I thought Akanji stuttered at the start of this season and since we've been on this run since December, this unbeaten run, I feel like we've just got the very best out of Akanji and we've headed back into the business end of the season and he's just started to propel back into his very best again, which is great to see. Josko Gvardiol there just having some words with Rodri. Played a pass in. Rodri not paying attention, doesn't keep his eye on the ball and gets his pocket picked and gives the ball away. And it's not something you expect of Rodrigo, that. Anyway, Kovacic goes down. Free kick for City here. Edge of the penalty area. Martin, thanks for tuning in. Reckons Wolves winning this game by 2-1. Yeah, Wolves haven't played a bad game. I'm hoping, from obviously being a City fan, that you're incorrect. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Amelia says we're going to win this. I do hope you are right, Amelia. Really do. A bit far out this for an effort on goal, I'd say. But Phil Foden fancied his chances last time, so who knows? He stood over this again. Kevin De Bruyne also stood over this. So, some defending for Wolves to do. De Bruyne it is to take. Deep cross comes in. It's too close to the keeper. Keeper spilled and referee, I was going to say referee's played on, but you touch the keeper, they're always going to blow the whistle. Keepers are given far too much protection. Let's have a look at this. He nudges right into the side of him. They're always going to give a free kick for that. Anyway, there we go. Free kick given to Wolves. 11 minutes to play then of the first half. It's not been a classic game. I've been impressed with Wolves. City haven't been at their creative best. Wolves have played well, so it'll be interesting to see what City do to try and change this up at half-time. I'm always fascinated by City's performances in the first half and second half, because you can tell when the analysis are really getting their teeth into how the team's playing and what approaches are happening and what City can do to try and counter that. So sometimes City are at their scintillating best in the first half, and if they're a bit lacklustre, sometimes you're going to see City play much better second half. And nothing's changed, it's just they've noticed one or two things that aren't quite right that just needs ironing out, and once you iron them out, sorts out the problems. Sometimes it's a simple thing like we're sitting 5 yards too deep. Here's De Bruyne. Works the ball to Rodri. Crosses the ball in looking for Haaland! Oh, Erling Haaland! It's majestic. It's 2-0 Manchester City. It's a very similar chance to the one we had before when the ball came across and Haaland from the cross from Bernardo Silva didn't have a lot of pace to work with. So he heads it down and the keeper made the save. This time Rodri goes with a little bit more pace that Haaland can work with. So he can loop it and get that extra bit of power and precision into the corner and into the back of the net. It's absolutely fantastic stuff from Erling Haaland. And that is what Erling Haaland possesses for Manchester City. Your 6'4" powerhouse of a striker. You give him opportunities, he's going to tuck them away. And it's much like what we were seeing from Erling Haaland at the beginning of last season. City are more than capable of putting quality balls into the box. All you need to do is make sure that it's on Erling Haaland's head and he'll do the rest in the 6-yard box. And that's exactly what Erling Haaland has done there. Clinical from him, clinical from Manchester City. Wolves have played a good game, yet City lead here by 2-0. That killer 2-goal cushion. And with 9 minutes remaining, we need to keep pushing. If we can find a third goal, I think it will kill Wolves off. And as I said, they've not played a bad game at all. The difference here has been Erling Haaland showcasing his ability. And I said it in my preview. I said it before the game. Erling Haaland hat-trick, anybody? He's on a hat-trick here. City lead by 2-0. Seamus enjoyed that. JSGC football enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. All you guys enjoyed that as well. It's good stuff from Erling Haaland. I said last week, that one goal that he scored, the little cameo appearance that he had, I wonder if he's just been carrying a knock or he's been tired, because give him a rest. It's the first time he started a game in 4 games for City. Give him a rest and all of a sudden he looks sharper, he looks better. Here's De Bruyne looks to play a ball across and out for a corner to Manchester City. Yeah, you give him a rest and all of a sudden, you know, City playing once every week rather than every 3-4 days. He looks sharper, he looks better. And Erling Haaland's not really done that much. He's done what he's needed to do, drop into space when he's needed to be and be in the right place at the right time and being clinical. And that's what Erling Haaland does when he's at his best, as Foden sends a corner in, headed clear by Wolves. City have a player down in the penalty area. Head injury, so we're going to have to stop. Akanji that's gone down. Let's have a look what happened there. Not too sure what happened there. Is it a head injury? Looks like he's limping. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think he goes into the back of his head there. Nothing else in it. Anyway, Akanji can get back in position. Got David Silva, El Maggio is in attendance before the game being presented to the fans, which was brilliant to see with his wife and his 2 children. I think he's Man City's guest today as well, which is good to see. Nice to see David Silva back at City. Cracking player. Just oozed class and quality on and off the field. Brilliant, brilliant player. Wolves give the ball away. Here's De Bruyne. Tries to find Rodri at the stretch. He can't get there. And Wolves don't clear their lines. And Man City will just mop that one up. Instruction to Akanji is work the ball back to Ederson. And we can have possession here. And that's exactly what happens. Here's Kovacic then to Akanji. Akanji gives the ball to Kyle Walker. Back to Akanji. Here's Rodri. Comes forward for City. Finds Josko Gvardiol to Nathan Ake. Here's Manuel Akanji. There's a good pass into the channel for Foden. He'll say, thank you very much. I'll have that free kick every single day of the week. We're into the 40th minute, and Phil Foden now in a heap of pain. A yellow card comes out for Mario Lemina. Let's have a look. I don't think there were too much in the challenge. There wasn't anything in the challenge. Is there some afters there? Does he step on him or something? Or is it just for a cynical foul? I'm not sure. Anyway, Mario Lemina into the book. First yellow card, Foden. Looks in a lot of pain, actually. And he says, coming because of the way Wolves are playing. It does, and it helps. You're all right. Marcus, thanks for tuning in. I think we can start to think about that if we get it to 3-0. If we can get it to 3-0, then we can start thinking about that Arsenal goal difference, because we've matched their result from what they got today in their game against AFC Bournemouth at home. They won 3-0 earlier on today. Then you can start thinking about the goal difference, which I think at the moment's 8 in favour of Arsenal. Because goal difference could be very important. And David Silva, is he our new wine? Yeah, he is. I do remember his goal in at Blackpool. 2011, it was wonderful. Took it past 2 onto his left foot, wonderful left foot, and then popped it into the back of the net. It was a brilliant goal from David. And he was one of them players through the first few years at City that had accused of always looking for that extra pass. Not having enough shots because he had a wonderful left foot. He had a good shot on him. He did. I think David Silva was a little bit unlucky that he never made more appearances for Spain as well. In particular, looking towards that 2010. Might have been 2010 against Blackpool, actually, rather than 2011. 2010-11 season. But he was unlucky not to feature more for Spain in that World Cup winning squad. He's always done a good job when asked to play out wide for City. He was versatile. I think we saw the best out of him through midfield, but he was competing with the likes of Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. I mean, that's some midfield. David Silva mixed in there as well. Here's De Bruyne then. He's got 3 ahead of him. Just plays a pass towards Foden, and he can't sort his feet out there, Foden. And Semedo does a good job on Josko Gvardiol. Just bursts forward here with a bit of acceleration for Wolves and manages to get them inside the Manchester City half. That was a good position for City, not capitalised upon. Wolves spread the play. Looking for the left-hand side. It's a good ball. Picked up by Bruyne. Ball gets flicked in. Bit of miscommunication there from Wolves. Hwang says, why is the ball not coming to me? And not quite clicking there for Wolves. And Man City keep hold of their 2-0 lead. So, guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. Now, 8 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. David Silva's goal against Hull as well. Now you mention these goals, they're all flooding back to me. Yeah, Vincent did get sent off. Did we win that game? Was it 1-0? I think it was the only goal of the game. It's a very well-managed game from City. Anyway, it's a good forward pass into the channel. Haaland's first there. Haaland goes down. City want a penalty for that. Haaland, I don't think, really appealed. Did he just lose his footing at the final moment there, Haaland? Does the defender do just enough? I want to see that again. There's no appeal from Haaland. I'm not too sure what Erling Haaland does there. I don't know. I don't know how to describe what just happened. It's not a penalty for me. I think Haaland's just looking for a bit of a show of strength. looks to protect the ball from the challenge, and he comes in from behind on Erling Haaland there. He doesn't win the ball. Is there enough to send him to ground is the question. So the referee's been asked to go and have a look at the screen. So not only are you checking for a penalty here, you've got to be checking for last man and goal scoring opportunity. Now, normally, referee goes over to the monitor. It means one thing. I don't know what to make of this. I always try and think from an unbiased perspective. If this was at the other end, I think I'd be upset if this was given against us. It's clumsy from Semedo, but he's just trying to use strength, and he's back of his Erling Haaland's legs clipped by the front of Semedo's legs, and it does enough to knock Haaland off balance and enough for him not to compose himself to have a shot. So the referee's having several good angles to look at. As I said, if you are going to give the penalty here, you've got to look at it as it's a goal-scoring opportunity and it's a last man, and it should be, if a penalty's given, the letter of the law should be a red card as well. Referee's nodding, so I think he's going to overturn this, and it's going to be a penalty for Manchester City. Is it just a penalty is the question. A yellow card given as well. Now, I don't understand how you can deem it a penalty and then give him a yellow card. He's last man. It's a goal-scoring opportunity. So a chance here for a first half Erling Haaland hat-trick. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to dwell on that because we're 2-0 up. And we've got a chance here to make it 3-0. And this is what City need to do. This, to me, tuck this away. Then we can speak about Arsenal's goal difference. We miss this, then we need to regroup second half and look for that killer third goal to kill this game off. We've got a chance here to kill this game off right now. A chance here for a 47-minute hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Sent the keeper the wrong way last time. I said it was inevitable what Haaland's going to do in the end result. And it's the same again from Erling Haaland. 3 fingers up. 3 goals for Manchester City. 3 points for Manchester City, you would think. And a hat-trick for Erling Haaland as well. As I said, inevitable. And Wolves haven't played too badly here either. City have just been clinical. Haaland has been clinical. That's been the big difference. And as JSGC Football says there, game, set, and match. Power takes it past the goalkeeper there. And all I'm thinking here, guys, is why did we take Big Erling off against Real Madrid before penalty shootout? We could have done with that. In that penalty shootout, we really could. So we've matched the result of what Arsenal did before against Bournemouth. We don't play for another week. There is plenty of quality on the bench. There is no reason why Man City cannot be thinking about goal difference with how open Wolves are, because they're not going to park the bus, I don't think. I thought they would have been negative. I thought they'd have been tight. I thought they'd have done what they did at Molineux against us, but they haven't. They've played football. They've passed the ball. They've knocked the ball round really well. Here's Ait-Nouri with a ball into the box. Ederson reads that, and 4 minutes are up here that have been added on. Maybe the referee may choose to add another minute on for the VAR check and the goal for Erling Haaland. He may want to add a couple of minutes on, to be honest. But City under pressure today. It's a brilliant response. 3 goals unanswered for. It's brilliant work from Haaland. He's gone into them channels really well. And here's De Bruyne now, looking for them options. 3 ahead of him again. He's looking for Gvardiol. He finds Gvardiol. He can't play the ball across. Here's Haaland to Gvardiol. Lovely work from Josko Gvardiol. He goes down and he gets a 3 kick from City. Brilliant, brilliant work from Josko. He's really grown into his own, Gvardiol. He really has in these last few weeks for City. It's just taken a bit of time for him to embed himself into the squad. New surroundings, new country, new city, new cultures, new weather. He's really climatised himself really well, and I feel like we're starting to get the very best out of him. And all it's taken for him is to score his first goal, and all of a sudden he's thought, yes, that's what I want to do. And it's been brilliant to see. You can see why City chose to spend so much money in the summer on him. He's an outstanding asset. He's only 22 as well. He's a cracking player. So, free kick here for City. Can we make it 4? De Bruyne stood over it. Akanji forward. Gvardiol forward. Ake forward. Rodri forward. Haaland's there. You've got Bernardo, Kovacic and Foden flirting around the edge of the box as well. Referee then blows his whistle. De Bruyne goes near post and out for a corner. Wonder if the referee might blow his whistle. You saw it at full time in the Luton game against Everton yesterday, where they played 2 minutes over what had been added on. Went out for a corner to Luton and the referee decided to blow the whistle. Here we're 2 minutes over time and referee's given enough time for this corner to come in from De Bruyne. It's deep. Rodri heads it across, and Gvardiol, can he sort his feet out? He can't. Oh, that should have been 4. It should have been 4. Are we just greedy at this point? Maybe. Gvardiol just takes a flick. He's just slightly behind him. He couldn't sort his feet out. It's a good knock from Rodri, and Gvardiol sorts his feet out there. That's 4-0. I mean, Nathan Ake off balance is shoved over. Takes a big wallop on the ground there on his back, Nathan Ake. He's claiming he was pushed there, Nathan Ake. He has a point. I don't think we're going to get 3 penalties in the first half. So, 7 goal difference on Arsenal. That's what we're thinking about them for this second half. It'd be good if we could go out there and score 5 or 6 today. So there we go. Perfect from Haaland. 3-0 Manchester City at half time. It's things you love to see. Erling Haaland hat-trick. I said it. Haaland hat-trick. It's incoming. Brilliant to see from City. Brilliant to see from Erling Haaland. And I'll be honest, I don't think Wolves have played a bad game. I don't think the stats are going to suggest that Wolves have played a fine game of football, but they've passed the ball around pretty well. They've given the ball away the odd time here or there, but they've not been punished when they have given the ball away. It's just more Man City have had that extra bit of quality in the final third that Wolves haven't possessed in this game. That's been the difference. The creating of the opportunities being presented to City and City putting them opportunities away, because there hasn't been that many opportunities for City, but they've done enough to ensure that the job's been done by half time, and we're now in a position where I don't want City to sit on this. I want City to be thinking about that Arsenal goal difference. I want Man City to be thinking, if there's a statement win to be put out there, go out there and go and do it. 3 goals in the first half. There's no reason with the quality that we've got on the bench to come on in the second half as well to rotate the team a little bit. There's no reason why City can't think about scoring a couple more goals and eating into that Arsenal goal difference and giving them something to think about, saying, we've been under pressure today and we've turned up, picked up a win and eaten at your goal difference as well. 7 goal difference. We've got the game in hand. So if we can score 2 or 3 in this second half, it becomes 4 or 5 goals and all of a sudden, yeah. With the game in hand to come for Manchester City as well, could be very important come the end of the season. It may just make a must-win game, a do-not-lose game if you can pull that goal difference right back. But still a long way to go. Got another 45 minutes to come. Looking forward to seeing what does happen in them 45 minutes. And hopefully City can continue to build on what we've done there in the first half. Seamus says, more goals, keep the pressure on Arsenal. Raheem says, Haaland is back. I agree with them points completely. It's been brilliant stuff from Manchester City. As dog is stuck on my wires. Come here. Yeah. we go. All sorted. Got to love being live. Dog just lays right under the desk and thinks, you know what, I'm going to walk out in front now. Anyway, on to the stats for this game then, brought to you by today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. Man City's expected goal rate at 2.12, scored 3 above the expected goal rate. Wolves not had a shot in that first half, which is why their expected goal rate is at 0. City, though, been at their clinical best. Wolves have made life difficult for City because in terms of possession, 53% possession for City compared with 47% possession for Wolves. 7 shots for City, 5 on target. Wolves just haven't done anything. Dog's deciding to bark now. Fabulous. City have had a couple of corners compared with Wolves, 0. City have had 2. 1 offside for City, none for Wolves. In terms of fouls, 2 yellow cards for Wolves. I think Wolves are lucky to have 11 men on the field, if I'm honest. I thought it was a red card if you were going to give the penalty against Semedo. They did give the penalty, and to me, last man should have been sent off. Goal-scoring opportunity, but referee gives a yellow card instead, and I'm not too sure how you think. Look at that and say, do you know what? It's a yellow card rather than a red. But here we are. Anyway. Not too sure why my webcam picture's gone off. There we go. All sorted. Apologies for that one, guys. The dog, I think, just pulled on one of the wires, so it got stuck. Apologies for that, guys. 287 passes for City, 255 for Wolves. City's pass accuracy, 89%, decent, 84% for Wolves. All in all, yeah, pretty decent from Wolves. Not the ball around, they've had the possession, they've just not created the opportunities. City haven't created as many opportunities as we used to, but we've still managed to do the job. And we've been clinical in front of goal, helped by a couple of penalties, and you do feel like Erling Haaland looking sharper and fresher than ever, providing the goods there for City. They're my halftime thoughts. Do let me know your halftime thoughts. In the live chat, Wildcat says, still think KDB and Foden struggle to combine. He's combined really well at Brighton away. Other than that, it's City just, they keep moving Phil Foden. The problem you have, it's not a problem, but Phil Foden, City want him to do a heck of a lot. They want him sometimes to drift out wide. They want him sometimes to go through the middle. Sometimes they want him to drop deep. And they're asking Kevin De Bruyne to then go further afield. And I can't help but feel like tinkering them roles around. Where Kevin De Bruyne plays is where I'd like to see Phil Foden. And where Phil Foden currently plays is where I'd like to go and see Kevin De Bruyne play. Because I feel like De Bruyne is that kind of player that can accelerate a 20, 30 yard pass and lead a counter-attack into the channel for someone like Foden to be latching onto. Foden's got the trickery, he's got the neat little passes to be able to thread passes through to your Bernardo Silvas, your Jeremy Doku's when he's on the pitch, your Oscar Bobbs, your Erling Haalands, your Julian Alvarez's, your Jack Grealishes, etc. Whereas Kevin De Bruyne is more of a direct player for me, and I think I'd like to see them two players roles reversed and see how that works. Not that I'm saying Kevin De Bruyne is a bad player playing behind the striker. I think City just do that due to Kevin De Bruyne's age. There's not as much reliability on his running, and Phil Foden's one of them players who just springs up wherever he needs to be, and De Bruyne is just going to be that player that dictates from through the centre to the right, to the left, and where he wants to go from there. So, we're 3-0 up, so I'm not going to complain too much about that, but I do agree with you, Wildcats Island there, that it is something for City to try and combine and figure out. It might not even be a problem heading into the summer if Saudi Arabia end up getting their way and making £100+ million move for Kevin De Bruyne, which I'm hoping, fingers crossed, doesn't materialise and we keep De Bruyne at the club, because as I said, he's aging like fine wine. He's a fantastic player to have around the squad. Experience, quality, he knows what it takes in the high pressure situations, and experience is key when it gets round to these parts of the season, like in games like today, which is what we're seeing. So Yeah, they're my halftime thoughts. Get your halftime thoughts then, guys, in the live chat. Colonel says, wish Wolves bent over like that for Arsenal. Not to have a single shot on goal is laughable. I admit Man City have been good, though. Wolves, I don't think have played a bad game. They've gone to the Etihad and having 47% possession and near enough matching us for the amount of passes that we're having. The problem Wolves are having is in terms of creativity. They've not got that creative power that City have got, and City have made it a lot about their... Oh, my camera's gone off again. There we go, back in business. Don't know why it keeps freezing. Here we are. Yeah, City are making this about creativity, and I think that's getting the very best from City. We've got creative players that can hurt the very best teams in Europe, and Wolves need to try and find them opportunities, whether that be taking that risky pass and playing the ball in to the channels earlier, or moving the ball to the right, moving the ball to the left. They seem a little bit indecisive, and that slight hesitation of indecisiveness is allowing Man City to get your Bernardo Silvas and your Rodris to track back, to have them extra bodies there, and a little bit to do with Wolves' formation as well. They go with two attackers and nothing else. They're so weary of where they are on the pitch and what City possess in their quality that you don't want to overcommit, and they found themselves through a couple of penalties, 3-0 down, and I think it's important heading into the second half, as Dad's saying there. City are going to go at Wolves thinking about that goal difference now, and they're going to look to try and really take the game and look to score more goals and more opportunities. So do Wolves sit tight and shut up shop? Do they carry on going? Do you do something in between and not find the balance and concede another 3 goals? What do they do? It's a tricky situation. At the moment, it's very much been about Man City, clinical in front of goal, Haaland showing his quality, City's creativity showing its quality as well. Ultimately, that's the difference. And City under high pressure stakes, 3-0 up and looking good, and got to be thinking second half about that goal difference with Arsenal, because we've got a full strength squad to go at. We're not playing for another 7 days. We don't have to think about rotation. We just need to go out there and try and make a statement win, is where we're looking at from City's point of view. I think we'd all have been surprised if Arsenal or City had dropped points today. You look at it on paper, home matches against Bournemouth and Wolves respectively, and you'd be expecting them to get the job done, which is what they've managed to do. So there we are. Anyway, guys, do leave a thumbs up. Now past halfway to our 100 like goal. 46 likes to go. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. It's a free app to download. And also don't forget as well to leave your halftime thoughts in the comments, in the live chat. I'm also used to saying in the comments below. So I do have some halftime entertainment lined up for you guys. Mixed, my partner channel, links and details there in the description, has continued his United States themed cocktail series, and he's covered Oklahoma with the Oklahoma Prairie Fire cocktail. Do enjoy yourselves, and I will see you guys ready for the second half.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another American cocktail. So this is our series doing a cocktail from every state in the USA. So this is Oklahoma. So what we're doing today, guys, is the Oklahoma Prairie Fire, because I cannot wait to show you guys how to make it. So in case you don't realize, this is me narrating over this video. Let's say silly old me forgot to turn on the microphone, so you got to pull with the director's version of it. So this is the mixed uncut version. So what I'm showing you here now is rimming the Tom Collins glass. So I've got sea salt, but if you don't have a Targin, because that's very American, it's a brand. It's like chili powder with a lime juice, and it's very, very flavoursome. So, but we've had to compromise with sea salt here, so we're just rimming it, as you can see here. So we're slowly getting there. Because it's taking me a little bit. It's taking me a while to get this sorted. So as you can tell there, I'm still not happy with it. I'm still adding a bit more sea salt to the rim. So in the meantime, with the Oklahoma Prairie Fire, this is cocktail number 4 in the series. Because after New York, Alaska, and Alabama. So we've finally done the rim now, as we put to one side. And what we're going to do now is just to do the ingredients, because I'm still not happy with it. You can see it off here, off the screen. And yes, I can tell from my reaction that I did not like that one little bit, because I'm still not happy with it at all. So what you got to do now is get your shaker and add in the ice cubes. That's if you can get in, and yes, eventually I do get in the tin. So what you want to do, guys, is add 4 to 5 ice cubes here, just like I'm about to do, as I put it into a tin shaker now, put to one side, and you got a nice little close-up of the cocktail shaker as well. Add the ingredients now. So 60 ml or 2 ounces of a mezcal. So this is the first time of me trying this specific spirit. Very, very nice, and I certainly like it. It's going to say it's up there with tequila, but I think it's better than tequila. It's a very, very good recommendation. And the person that recommended this to me, Tom, you are an absolute superstar. I was going to say the recipe has been fantastic. So next is 30 ml or 1 ounce of OJ or orange juice. Next, first time again trying this ingredient, blood orange. So 30 ml or 1 ounce. It's very, very tartier than the orange. Because it's got a very peculiar smell with it. Because it's very, very flavoursome but very spicy. Next, 30 ml or 1 ounce of fresh lime juice. Because I always recommend freshly squeezed produce if you use them, because it's a bit more fresh, and I just like fresh ingredients. Next is 15 ml or half an ounce of grenadines, because it gives it a little bit of a sweetener. Just sweetens the cocktail up a little bit. Next is 30 ml or 1 ounce of simple syrup. Again, this gives it a nice little balance, because it balances from the sweetness with the spiciness of the mezcal, and also the blood orange, the tartness of it. And the last bit is to add 4 to 6 dashes of orange bitters. So it just gives it that little bit of a kick that you need. Because you'll see why at the end. Because it just gives it that very nice and balance and a nice kick of this cocktail, of why it's called the Prairie Fire. So as you can see, me struggling in casually like I do. Because we put the lid on now. Now give it a good hard shake for 8 to 10 seconds, as I always say. Look at me go there. Because giving it a good hard shake. Yes, that's it, lad. Give it a good shake, and there we go. Ready to strain it into our already prepared Tom Collins glass. So as you can see there, a nice little bit of camera work as I do the zoom. But if you're very, very observant, what can you spot wrong with this? Bonus points if you can recognise. So I'm going to add the ice cubes now to this. As you can see, we'll speed that up, because you don't need to see me keep adding ice cubes. It's now full of ice cubes, because they now strain into your prepared Tom Collins glass. So just look how beautiful this cocktail is. Look how blood red that is. It's absolutely fantastic. The Oklahoma Prairie Fire is absolutely fantastic, and I just love the presentation of it, just how bright it is. It certainly loves its names, because the colour, everything about it is just mwah, beautiful. So the final thing to do now is to garnish it with a lime wheel. Absolutely fantastic. And that, my friends, is the Oklahoma Prairie Fire. So I'm not too sure what this guy's waffling on. So as I'm still waffling on here, because I'm just loving the cocktails. Because what I'm saying here is how much the presentation, how good it is of this cocktail. Because it's very flavoursome, because it's a very big cocktail and it's packed quite a punch. So now we're back to try the cocktail. So how does it taste? Because I remember sampling it yesterday. And the thing that appealed to me is because, like I said, it's the spiciness of it. It's because, especially with the mezcal, because it's so flavoursome. Because there's so many different flavours with the mezcal. It's just surprising how spicy it is. But again, you get the other flavours kicking through that surprises you. Because as you can taste the lime juice in it, because you taste the sweetness kicking through as well. The simple syrup and the grenadine that balances out this beautiful drink. It's a very, very spicy margarita, is how I describe it like that. It's a very spicy, more of a fire version of the margarita. That is how I would describe this cocktail, but it's more sweeter than the margarita as well. Because I just love how balanced it was. Is that's what I'm describing here. Because even though you can't hear me, that is what I'm describing. I just love the mezcal, love the spiciness of it. So upgrade it from a 7 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. It's because the more you drink it, the more flavours you get out of it as you go through it. Especially with the rim, because the rim is what makes this drink as well, as I'm saying. As you can taste the sea salt every time you take a sip, so it increases the spiciness. So that's what I love about this. If you love mezcal or tequila, you'll love this cocktail. Because if you love margaritas, you'll love the Prairie Fire, and I cannot recommend it high enough. Because this Oklahoma version of the Prairie Fire does it justice, and it's a very solid 8 out of 10. And this for me is the Oklahoma State drink. Even though it's not the official one, this has been recommended to me, as I said before. Thank you again to Tom for recommending this cocktail to me. As it certainly lives up to its billing. It's got to say it's a beautiful cocktail. It's got to say you've got the presentation, it's got the spiciness, it's got the sweet tastiness of the mezcal, and you just can't beat it. So as you can see there, I'm forgetting words. I'm going to say it again. What I'm telling you there is, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixed for more cocktails like this. But if you want to see more American cocktails, if you've got any lists in the comments below, do let me know. As here, I've forgot my train of thought as I'm trying to remember the list. As you can see how confused I am. So what I'm doing there is counting down the numbers of how many cocktails I've actually done. So number 1 is, so I've done New York with the Long Island iced tea, Alabama, which is the Alabama Slammer, and of course Alaska with the duck fart. So this is number 4, Oklahoma Prairie Fires, because that will take us on to number 5 for the next cocktail. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you like this director's cut version, do let me know in the comments below. And what I'm doing now is just seeing out the video, as that is a big fat cheers to everyone. And as I do my grand exit.
Thank you very much there to Mixed for providing today's halftime entertainment. Match has kicked off. Not missed much. If anything was happening, I would have ended the halftime entertainment there, but nothing really happened in the first 4 minutes or so of the first half, and Manchester City still leading by 3-0, and no changes have been made. As Rodri's into a brilliant position here. And Foden has a shot. It's a good save from Jose Sarr. Gets down really well. And Wolves can mop it up and put it out for a throw in there. A good opportunity that for City. Comes in from Rodri. Finds Foden. Has a shot. It's a good save. There weren't a lot of power generated, but there we go. Colonel says Fulham and West Ham games and the Old Trafford game next week could be the games where one of us ends up dropping points. Says that the Tottenham game a dead rubber now for City as Spurs are burnt out. Makes a good point there. That Fulham away game for City is very difficult, and I'm actually quite happy that we're going first before the Arsenal game, because it's a chance for us for extra motivation to say that we go top ahead of what is a massive game for Arsenal at Old Trafford, where potentially they could be dropping points as well. And West Ham at home, it's like today's game against Wolves, a banana skin. You've got to be really on it. And when you get to the point where you have high-stake games where anything can go and you've got to win that game or you're done and dusted when it gets to the final game of the season, pressure can be a very funny thing. We've seen City struggle against Aston Villa and went 2-0 behind, needed 3 goals in quick succession in the 7 minutes or so turnaround towards the end of the game to go on to win the Premier League. Queen's Park Rangers in 2012, need I say any more about that? So pressure can be very funny, and you can't keep leaving things very late like City do. And it's not very Man City to keep things drama-free. We love drama at Manchester City, so hopefully we can keep things drama-free as offside flag goes up there. Against Wolves, looked like they were going to get forward and create an opportunity and maybe have a shot, but doesn't happen. John, thanks for tuning in. Keith, thanks for tuning in. Andy says, got a friend from Oklahoma living in York. Love that. And says, nice one, El Cid. Seamus says, double hat-trick incoming for Erling Haaland. Would love a double hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Scored 5 against Leipzig. We've not seen him do a double hat-trick. Double hat-trick would be a thing of absolute beauty. And Soda, thanks for tuning in, says, what is my favourite food? That's a good question. I'd probably lean towards... favourite food, there's a lot out there. Pasta, probably one of my favourites. Very broad and open for interpretation. As Ederson just spills and Wolves get a goal back. Such an easy peasy goal for Hwang to go and score. And that's disappointing. City just switch off at the back there. One cross comes in. Ederson fails to get any distance on his clearance. Wolves have the first shot of the game. And all of a sudden... we wanted to be thinking about that goal difference, and now we've got to think to ourselves, we've got a job to see out here to ensure that we pick up the 3 points, and Hwang couldn't have wished for an easier goal. He's not going to score an easier goal all season. It's disappointing, and it's Eddie that's at fault there. Ederson's just doesn't get any distance on his clearance, and he's left out of position. It's a tap-in. It's an awful goal to concede. Absolutely awful goal to concede. There goes the clean sheet. Haaland then into the penalty area. Oh, Erling Haaland is majestic. Double hat-trick, anybody? 4-1 Manchester City. Let's start thinking. Let's start thinking about that goal difference again. What's the time between the 2 goals there? City literally just launched one ball long. Haaland takes a touch and puts it in the back of the net. 4-1. Magnificent stuff. Yeah, it just goes back to Ederson. Ederson plays a pass into Foden. Foden sends it forward to Haaland. Haaland turns onto his left foot. Boom. 4-1. Have it. Back to Soda's question. I reckon a tuna pasta bake. Extra cheese. That's a majestic. That's winning. That's right up there with one of my favourite foods. I think that would be my go-to meal if, if someone said, oh, this is going to be your last meal ever. What do you want? Well, that's what I'd be going towards. Do I have a diet? Calorie count? I've lost over a stone, actually. In the... How long's it been? About 6 months? Just short of. So, yeah, calorie counting for the win. Worked really well. Colonel says, gotta hope Villa lose for me, though, as it might make Tottenham City game more interesting. You are right, keep an eye on it. I'm keeping an eye on what's happening around with Man United and Newcastle as well, as none of them teams are going to want to drop into the Conference League. And with top 4 confirmed as the Premier League's allocation for the Champions League next season, they're going to be thinking about the Conference League. And Man United can potentially win the FA Cup if they beat Man City, and that'll send them into the Europa League, and it makes it a bit redundant what happens in the league for them. But I'm not too sure that's what they're going to be thinking about. You don't want to leave anything for chance. So, yeah. Doesn't sound like there's too much to play for there, but none of them teams are going to want to be in the Conference League. They'd rather be in the Europa League. It's a higher ranking competition. Gets your European coefficiency rankings up more in the Europa League than it does in the Conference League. And of course, you go on and win the Europa League, it's a spot in the Champions League in the season after. So, Seamus says, we're at his scoreline, but hoping that we beat it. I do hope you are right. Julia says, the Terminator. He's looked sharp. He's looked good. It's like Erling Haaland from last season. There hasn't been many glimpses this season where I felt that Erling Haaland was at the level that was hitting last season, but in this game, he showed glimpses in that Forest game, I thought, as well. He just looked sharp. He looked good. So, free kick here for Wolves. At 40 yards out. Cross comes in. Straight out of play for a goal kick. No danger to City's goal. Andy says the only thing worse than tuna pasta bake is macaroni cheese. Now, my friend Craig sometimes dips in and out of the streams. His favourite food is macaroni cheese. I love tuna pasta bake. Extra cheese on as well. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What I will say, Andy, is you've not had a tuna pasta bake when I've made a tuna pasta bake. Probably helps if you like tuna or not. I do. I am partial to Indian food. I do love Indian food as well. Well, I've got a bit of a baby mouth. It's getting better, though. Here's De Bruyne into Haaland. Haaland over the top of the crossbar and corner for Manchester City. You just feel like every time Haaland touches the ball, it's going to go into the back of the net. There's De Bruyne then to Kovacic. Gives the ball to Phil Foden. Kovacic once more. Through 58 minutes here at the Etihad, City leading by 4-1. Rodri into Ake. Plays it across. Not the worst of balls from Ake. Read well by Wolves, and Wolves can come away with the ball here as well. And a pass can come forward. Here's goal scorer Hwang. I can't believe Pep said that Korean guy. Cunha goes with a ball across. Worked out to Bueno on the left as nobody was there in the middle. Bernardo Silva trying to see that out and bit of a mess. And Wolves want a penalty. They're crying for a penalty. Fans and players up in arms there. They felt like it had touched the arm of the City player. Play continues. Here's Rodri. Just turns back inside. Andy, that'll explain it then. Allergic to fish. As Haaland has a shot, and it's a good save from the keeper and out for a corner. Probably should have been number 5 for City and number 5 for Haaland there. To be fair, my wife doesn't like fish either. So she doesn't have a tuna pasta bake. She just has a pasta bake. He does well there, Haaland. Lifts his shot. It's just straight at the keeper, so he gets a good hand onto it and over the top of the crossbar. So a corner for Manchester City and a corner for KDB. De Bruyne to take. Not the best from De Bruyne. Headed clear by Wolves. Looking for that near post. Didn't quite have the height. Looks for the back post and Rodri heads it back across and there's nobody there. And Wolves player can pick that up and City do well to get an interception and a shot over the top of the crossbar from Josko Gvardiol, and that brings up the hour mark. City lead by 4-1 here. So guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. We're now 43 likes away from 100 likes. Do subscribe if you're new around here, and do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Jose Sarr sends it long. Header won by Akanji. And you'd think with these 4 goals for Haaland, I mean, never say never, but you'd think that that's going to be Haaland winning the Golden Boot for the Premier League as well. He was under pressure from Cole Palmer. I think Haaland's on 25 for the season now, 5 ahead of Cole Palmer. So free kick here for Wolves. Some ironic cheers coming in from the Wolves fans from the away end there in the south stand. They choose not to send the ball into the box and instead just going to knock it round. Here's Nelson Semedo. Just being worked backwards here by Wolverhampton Wanderers. As Blue Moon reigns around the Etihad. City fans smelling the 3 points. As I said, I want to see City start to try and build on this. They want the offside flag against Ait-Nouri. It doesn't come. Pass doesn't come in either from Wolves. Intercepted by Nathan Ake. And eventually the offside flag does go up. I hate these long waits for offside flags. I've had my say on it earlier in the season, leading to injuries and impacts. If somebody's offside, just put your flag up. Here's Akanji. Haaland to Rodri. Here's De Bruyne now. He's got Foden ahead of him. Here's Foden looking for Haaland. Couldn't quite find the pass through to Haaland, and Wolves can cut that one out this time. And they can start to come forward here as well. They've got 3 forward. That's a good challenge from Nathan Ake. Kevin De Bruyne does really well there. Really well from Kevin De Bruyne. He's under pressure. He's shoved to the ground, and that will be a free kick and a yellow card as well. Comes in for Traore. It's a free kick every single day of the week. It's a cynical foul on Kevin De Bruyne, who just trips him up. So he's into the book there. Boubacar Traore. Third yellow card of the season. Here is Kovacic then. Gives the ball to Akanji. We've got around half an hour left of this game. Just under, plus whatever's to be added on. Ball comes forward from City looking for Kovacic. Cut out. I wonder how long it'll be before City start to think about going to the bench. As Wolves have got 2 further forward here. Yeah, pass comes in looking for Cunha, cut off by Akanji. Finds his pass to Rodri, and he'll find his pass back to Ederson. Here's Kyle Walker, captain for Manchester City. Being linked with another move to Saudi Arabia again. And an exit away from Manchester City. Apparently he's been making calls to his friend Riyad Mahrez, former City man. Left City in the summer to join the league in Saudi Arabia, and apparently Kyle Walker's been asking him some questions about life in Saudi Arabia and how he's finding it. Apparently interested himself in potentially going to Saudi Arabia this summer. Apparently there's been a bit of interest in Kyle Walker. As Nathan Ake goes down, it's going to be another free kick for City and another yellow card for a Wolves man. Nathan Ake, he's gone right through the back of Nathan Ake's calf there. It's a yellow card every day of the week. It's the extra kick on there as well. It's a nasty little challenge, and Joao Gomes picks up his 11th booking of the season, and Nathan Ake winces in pain there. He's not back on his feet, which is good. We're now 42 likes away, guys, from 100 likes. So any help towards that would be great. Let's see if we can get them likes up. That would be brilliant. City winning today. Looking good for 3 points. Here's Bernardo. Kyle Walker now on the right. I mean, I wonder if Man City might look for a bit more urgency and look for an injection of pace, and maybe look for Jeremy Doku from the bench for Bernardo or something. Or Foden or someone comes off. You don't necessarily need to make the changes. It's just, I'm noticing Wolves' legs are just starting to get a little bit more tired. I think the best course of action here for City would be to just get fresh legs. It's not, none of the players' legs on the bench are rusty legs. They're not players who have been struggling for game time. They're just rotated players that you could, any one of them could start, really. So another free kick here for City. Wolves are starting to get penned back in again. Here's Rodri to Kovacic. Back to Rodri once more. Gives the ball to Kyle Walker. Bernardo now. He's got the overlap of Walker. He's not used it. No, we've not had our Kyle Walker rocket attempt yet. Here's Gvardiol to Kova. I just thought, guys, it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with everybody. Here's Akanji to Phil Foden. Nice little Star Wars reference from me there. Here's Kyle Walker. We'll get a rendition of Johnny Stones from the City faithful. I wonder if he's just out warming up. Rodri just tries to play a pass back. Looked like he were ready to watch that go out for a corner, but like last touch came off Rodri, so he chooses to keep it in sensibly. And City can have possession once more. Here is Rodrigo. Goes cross-field looking for Josko. Cross comes in. It's a good ball. No one attacked it. And Wolves get a foot onto it and get it clear. Daniel says City needed more goals. Need to be thinking about that Arsenal goal difference. It'd be good for City to start thinking about it. At the moment, we had a 3-goal cushion in the first half and still a 3-goal cushion now. So Nathan Ake got that challenge through the back of his calf before. He's going to be City's first change here. I presume was hearing a rendition of Johnny Stones, because Johnny Stones is going to be the player that comes on for Nathan Ake. So Stone's going to get another 22 minutes or so, plus whatever's to be added on under his belt here. And I think John Stones has just told Akanji, you're now dropping as City's centre-back, and I'm going to push into midfield. Here's Johnny Stones to De Bruyne. Walker to Bernardo. De Bruyne once more. Back to Johnny Stones. To his partner Akanji. Here's Gvardiol. It's a good pass. Oh, it's lovely feet from Foden. It's brilliant from Phil Foden. Here's Philip Walter Foden then. Puts a cross in. Haaland, I had it just taken away from him there. He went for the acrobatics. Here's Bernardo. He has a shot and it's wide. He went for the acrobatics there, Haaland. I just remembered my bet mate and I had captain Erling Haaland. So I'll see how that's doing. Yeah, we're 7th. We're not doing bad. We're not doing bad at all. And we've got goal scorer Hwang. Be good for De Bruyne. I think my OBS just disconnected. I got a pop-up then. Hopefully you can all hear me and see me okay. I've had a couple of technical glitches today that I don't normally have. Because of it, I just missed that Bueno's gone off. So I'll use today's video sponsor. Sofa score links and details are in the description. Do go and check them out. We'll get confirmation of that change that Wolves just made. So Bellegarde's come on for Lamina at half time. And Bueno's just come off. Hugo Bueno, that is. And Santiago Bueno has come on. There we go. Isn't Bueno a chocolate bar? Kinder Bueno, very nice chocolate bar as well. I think I prefer their milk chocolate to the white chocolate that they do. There we go. Thank you very much, Seamus, for confirming. Can all see me and hear me okay? It's good. Just said it had disconnected, don't know why. I'm a bit of a Madden. Being a bit funny. Stones then to Akanji. Worked into Kyle Walker. Here is Foden to Rodri. Haaland looks for Foden. Finds Foden in the end. Probably shouldn't have found Foden, but he does find Foden. Gives the ball to Gvardiol. Plays a pass in for Rodri. Work to De Bruyne. De Bruyne goes across. It's deep. Finds Bernardo. Here's Bernardo Silva now. Worked across to Rodri, and Foden has a shot. And Foden has another shot, and out for a corner to Manchester City. So 18 minutes remaining here. Manchester City leading by 4-1. Seamus on fish, peas and potatoes for tea. Very nice. Foden puts a ball into the box. Headed clear only as far as Rodri, laid on a plate for Kovacic. He strikes it really well and it's straight at Sarr. He makes a save. I don't know how much he knew about that. Not a lot is my bet. And that's a free kick for Wolves. Gvardiol goes through the back of the Wolves man. That was some hit from Kova. Outside of his foot. It's straight at the keeper is the problem, so he can make the save. Either side of the keeper by a yard, and the sheer power and how late Sarr sees it, he just doesn't make the save, and that's 5-1 City. Good save, Jose Sarr, though. So free kick here for Wolves. And Wolves, I think, will be much happier with his second half performance. Had a good amount of possession in the first half. They've managed the second half really well. 3-0 down. Motivation can't be easy. It's so easy just to let your heads go and you end up conceding 5 or 6. You know, they managed to work the way back by containing City, keeping the score respectable, finding the goal as well. And City, when they've needed the creativity, have had the creativity, and then just kind of... I'm not accusing City of not having a go in this second half. I just think City are just waiting for their opportunities, and Wolves are just dropping a little bit deeper and playing a safer game that if City want to score, City are going to have to apply urgency. I think City are a little bit reluctant to apply urgency, which is where my criticism lies. That I'd like to see that urgency through the substitutes. You know, I get that players are 75 minutes into the game. They don't want to apply that urgency when they're 4-1 up. They're tired. But there's players wanting to be given their opportunity on the bench. You're allowed 5 subs. Put another 4 players on that pitch and say, we're looking towards you here, being that player that gives us that injection of urgency that goes on to maybe make it 5 or 6 for City, and that's how you make your gain on Arsenal in goal difference. As it is, we're not making any gains on Arsenal from the beginning of today to the end of today. Both sides winning by 3 goals. It's as you was. We move on from a couple of banana skins at home for Arsenal against Bournemouth and Wolves at home for City, and we move on to the away matches next week, and with Manchester City away at Fulham, very difficult game, and Arsenal away at Old Trafford. So subs being made now. Wolves making their change. Cunha comes off and Sarabia comes on. Geezer Dan, thanks for tuning in, says, one thing City can do this season is remain unbeaten at home this season without losing a game. Now, thinking about City losing games before, and we've lost away at Arsenal, we've lost away at Aston Villa, and we've lost away at Wolves have been the 3 games we've lost in the Premier League this season. In the FA Cup, we've not lost a game. In the Champions League, we've not lost a game. Obviously, we exited out the Champions League through losing on the penalty shootout, but it goes down on the record as not a loss, but a draw in the game. And then we lost in the League Cup against Newcastle away from home, so the Geezer Dan spot on there. City got one more match at home to come. Foden looks for Haaland. Haaland gets his head onto it, loops up, and keeper makes an easy save as a Poznan breaks out around the Etihad. Andy says, Joao Gomes, very lucky to be on the pitch. He reckons another City goal incoming. I do hope you're all right. And, yeah, he is lucky to be on the pitch. I think Nelson Semedo's lucky to be on the pitch as well. As we're now 41 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great, guys. Do subscribe if you're new around here, and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. Planet, City have scored more than your prediction. They've scored more than my prediction. I had this down as a 2-0 solid City win. 4-1, 3 points. I'm happy with that. Takes us to 3 games to go in the season. Takes us on to Premier League match day number 37, the penultimate match day of the league next weekend. We're getting towards now a point of no return. Margins are too fine. Drop points at your peril. Which team's going to blink? That is the question. And I'm not entirely sure either team, for Arsenal or City, are going to blink. It reminds me a lot of our little title races that we've had with Liverpool, where neither side have anything other than 100% to give, and both sides more than capable of winning the remaining games. It's just about having it in your own hands. And at this point in the season, Man City like having things in their own hands because they're very good at managing the situation. And that's exactly what we're seeing again here today. Penultimate home game of the season. Cross comes in from Wolves. It's a good ball and maybe could have done a little bit better there, Sarabia. But in the end, avoids him and out for, I think, a goal kick. Raheem says, too bad no youngsters on the bench. See how they would do for the rest of the match. City have got a full squad to go at, so weren't going to happen, unfortunately. It is a shame there's not a couple of young players to chuck on. It'd be great now for your Matheus Nunes, who is coming on, and your Oscar Bobbs, for example, to be coming on and getting some more minutes. But City taking the opportunity here for Kevin De Bruyne to come off and Nunes to come on against his former side as well. We've also got Phil Foden coming off and Bernardo Silva coming off as well. And some changes out wide there for City. With Jack Grealish coming on and Jeremy Doku. And the last thing these tired Wolves legs need with 11 minutes remaining in the game is to be thinking, here comes Jeremy Doku. Them Liverpool title races were something else. The thing is, it went on for so long, but these Arsenal title races last season, it weren't easy. City just made it look easy. It wasn't easy. And this season as well, a 3-horse race, it's not easy. And we've still not got the job done. A high points tally into the 90s is what it's looking like. It's a high points tally. Last season was slightly lower. Was it 85, 86 points enough to win the league last season? City won it with games to spare. We could rotate. Helped us to win the treble, that bit of rotation. So thank you, Arsenal, for bottling that we could rotate and have players nice and fresh for FA Cup finals and Champions League finals. I don't think that's going to be the case this season. Obviously already out of the Champions League, but we have got another FA Cup final Manchester derby to go at. I don't think there's going to be any room for rotation anywhere. But we do have a week off, which is refreshing for the team. I'm sure they'd still like to be in the Champions League, but if not, you're going to take the opportunity to have a bit of a rest. So we've got a week here to think about Fulham. Enough time for the players' legs to recover. Players to get over any knocks and be nice and refreshed with the challenges ahead. And let's not forget there's big international tournaments coming up this summer as well that players will be looking at trying to preserve their fitness ahead of that, which is why teams are always looking at the importance of squad depth. Because obviously the players will want to go to the international tournaments and play in the biggest competitions in the world for their country as well as for the club as well. As that should be a free kick on Jack Grealish, and is. Looks like we're going to see Grealish going for a central position here. Very interesting. Raheem reckons next season's going to be the season that Doku really improves on his decision making and really shows his very best, as Erling Haaland isn't going to grab another goal for City. See, I don't understand why Pep's taking him off. Doesn't need to come off. Haaland's nice and refreshed. I presume Alvarez is going to come on. So, 4 goals, just the 4 goals. All 4 goals for Erling Haaland. It's Erling Haaland 4, Wolves 1. He comes off the pitch. Fine job from Erling Haaland. He's some player. When he's on it, he's absolutely on it. And he single-handedly helped Manchester City today. And he gets a huge round of applause from the stadium, which, of course, he deserves. And World Cup winner Julian Alvarez for Argentina comes on in his place, and that's City's 5th and final sub. So all these players will see out the game, and we'll see how City manage it, and see if we can maybe grab another goal. That'd be nice, just to chip away at Arsenal's goal difference a little bit. You know, just a bit of psychology, if anything else. We're one better goal difference than you than what we were 24 hours ago. Don't think it'll have much of an impact, but yeah. Here we are. As I said before, if City are to win the Premier League, we're not going to be winning the Premier League, I don't think, on goal difference. It's going to be done on points. It's going to be done on wins. And that's the margin for City. 3 games left after today. Fulham away. Tottenham Hotspur away. West Ham at home. That's what's to come. Win them 3 games and we make history. Andy says, why have Man City players, or so many City players, got bandages on their hands? I don't know. As we're now 40 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. And thank you very much, Andy. It does help to grow our JSGC community and the Man City family as well, with people leaving a thumbs up. Lets me know that you are enjoying the content, and lets me know that you guys are enjoying seeing the live watch-alongs, and gives a bit of algorithm. What? Dog's barking again. Barking at nothing. There's nothing there. There we go. There's Doku. I thought was going to get in there, but he doesn't get in there. Oh, that's well won here. Here's Rodri. Gives it to Alvarez. Alvarez! Alvarez! Number 5 for Manchester City. Must be what? His second touch. First touch takes it into his path. Second touch into the back of the net. And Manchester City are now 5-1 up. Good stuff from Alvarez. Real good stuff. It's well won back from City. 1 touch. Yeah, first touch on his left foot takes it into his path. Second touch is the shot into the back of the net. Wonderful stuff from Julian Alvarez. And doing what Alvarez does there. Cool as you like. Easy as you like. 5-1 Manchester City. Goal difference. Boost it up now. There's 5 minutes plus maybe a few minutes to be added on. So we might get maybe 8, 9, 10, maybe 10 minutes from here. No reason why you can't be thinking about scoring another goal. Wolves now just... I think Wolves' head is just starting to drop. Here's Rodri to Kovacic. Alvarez to Walker. Nunes. Gives the ball to Doku. So Doku's got on the right wing for City. Here's Johnny Stones. Ederson now. John, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Raheem says, our super sub. Alvarez coming on. Scoring a goal immediately. Having an immediate impact. Here's Grealish. He goes down and that'll be a free kick. Goal scorer for Wolves, Hwang's going to come off. And Chirua is going to come on for Wolves. Here's Rodri to Kovacic. Stones now. Works the ball to Doku. And that should be a throw-in for Manchester City. Chirua wanted the throw-in for Wolves there, not given. Here's John Stones. Gives the ball to Kovacic. Rodri to Doku. Lovely from Doku. Real good stuff from Doku. Evades a challenge. Doku goes for the shot. And keeper makes the save there. Electrifying stuff from the young Belgian forward. He avoids 3 challenges there before he scuffs his shot and drags it. Comfortable save in the end for the keeper, but a good burst of acceleration from Jeremy Doku. Here's Nunes. To Doku now on the right. Up against Ait-Nouri. Tries to do him for pace. Does well. Wolves win the ball back. Wolves get the foot onto it and get it clear, but only as far as a throw-in for City right next to Wolves' corner flag. Just a bit messy from Wolves at the back there. Dog's barking again. That's going to be a goal kick. Nunes came rushing in, takes it on his chest, can't control it, and out of play for a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. So we are through 89 minutes here at the Etihad, and we've got 1 minute left to play. I reckon the dog's barking because she wants more food. She's been fed twice. The geezer Dan, it all depends on what's to play for. If there's anything for Tottenham to go at for the Champions League, then that Spurs game away is the more difficult of the games. If there's nothing for Spurs to go at, and they're just playing for pride, then Fulham away is more difficult. We won't know the permutations about that Tottenham game until we play on the Tuesday night. The Monday night, there's, I think Aston Villa are playing. I think they've got Liverpool. Let me check that. So we won't know what the importance is until that game's being played. Let me just have a look. There was definitely a game on that Monday. Yeah, Aston Villa take on Liverpool at Villa Park, which could kill Tottenham Hotspur's chances of top 4 football, or it could spring it wide open for them if they can beat Man City. But still got big games to come next weekend, so you've got to take it a game at a time and assess. We can't do anything. That's a lovely feat from Kovacic. We can't do anything but assess again ahead of next weekend's game against Fulham away. We're first up, and that's Nunes should have gone with a shot. Tries to take the touch from the pullback from Jeremy Doku, not given in the end, and that goes straight into the arms of goalkeeper Jose Sarr. And 4 minutes have been added on here at the Etihad. We're through the first minute, so just 3 minutes remaining. Spurs fans, they do not want Arsenal to win the title. Problem is, the fans aren't playing on the pitch. But, Julia, you are right. It'll be a very sombre, strange atmosphere. In particular, if Spurs have got nothing to play for, because they'll probably take more happiness from City scoring than themselves scoring, which is strange. So, just got 2.5 minutes remaining. I will have my match review up after the game for you guys to enjoy, so do stay tuned for that. Normally up about an hour after the game is finished. So don't forget, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe. That would be much appreciated. Do go and check out my social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. We're now 38 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. Martin says a big win for City, thumping Wolves. It's a big win, and there could be another goal there for City. Here's Nunes to Doku inside the Wolves penalty area. Back to Nunes, back to Doku, just been worked out wide by Manchester City. Wolves doing well to just force Manchester City back, and Kovacic takes a heavy touch. He manages to get his foot onto that and can find the pass. Martin reckons going to be, thank you very much for leaving the thumbs up, by the way. Martin says he reckons it's going to be 4 in a row for City. Well, we've got 3 games remaining, 3 wins, and it will be 4 in a row. Next up, 1 game at a time, Fulham away next Saturday. Early kickoff, 12:30pm BST. We'll be live here at 12pm BST with another live stream watch along for you guys to enjoy. We'll have all the build up to that game, plus all the other talking points throughout the week involving Manchester City for you guys to enjoy, as we're very much into the business end of the season, and it's been a good gain for City. 3 points is the most important thing. We're making a 1 goal gain on Arsenal on the goal difference. With the amount of games remaining, it's probably not going to be enough for that to matter, but still, it's a bonus, it's a plus. We've scored 5 goals, we've got a full strength squad to go at. I say bring on Fulham away next week. Remember, keep an eye on Arsenal on Sunday, 4:30 BST PM in the afternoon, Old Trafford, Manchester United taking on Arsenal. And if Man United can beat Arsenal and we can beat Fulham, we could win the Premier League at Spurs. Not that I'm looking too far ahead. Thank you very much, Andy and Alison, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Is Doku into the penalty area. Squares on a cross, and Akanji with the last opportunity of the game. Can't sort his feet out, and that goes out of play. And that's the 4 minutes done and dusted, and that is the final whistle as well. I'm going to give my JSGC man of the match to Erling Haaland. Scores 4 and Manchester City's 5. The guy who replaced Erling Haaland late in the second half, Julian Alvarez, the other man to find the back of the net for City late on. And City win by 4. We pick up the 3 points. We win 5-1. We move on. Fulham away next week. Let's keep making them gains. 3 games to go. Hwang with the goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And yeah, we've not got anything to play for. We move on from there. Seamus, thanks for tuning in. Thank you to everybody for tuning in today, interacting with me, leaving a thumbs up, subscribing, checking out today's video sponsor, SofaScore as well. Very much appreciated, guys. And yeah, I'll see you all again live watch along next Saturday, 12pm BST, with Manchester City's away match against Fulham. I'll have my match review up as well on my YouTube channel in the next hour, giving all of my thoughts on this and all the other City content for you guys to look forward to over the next week as well. So I'll see you then. So I wanted to say a big thank you from me for everybody for tuning in. Do take it easy. Do have a great rest of your bank holiday weekend if you're in the United Kingdom. Get extra long weekends, nice Monday off. I'll take that. And I'll see you all again real soon. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. I'm going to go and see what the barking dog wants. Peace. Ciao for now.